First of all, it is wonderful to meet you guys. The film was absolutely incredible, and I know that you two are both, very seasoned actors. I grew up watching, both of you on television, but taking a character that you've played on television to film, what is that process like? Because obviously you've done projects on film and projects on television separately, but is there sort of what's the process like of taking a character that you've played, especially for, 10 years, to film?
It's not hugely different because the TV series is quite cinematic anyway. It's got the big landscapes, it's got the big houses, it's got sort of breadth, and it's got time to breathe. So it isn't really, from our point of view, I don't think any different from making the television series.
I think it's shorter and sharper, so you have less. You've got just as long, if not longer, to film the scenes, which is great. But the whole experience is shorter and therefore in a way sweeter, because if you're doing something for 6 months, it's more tiring. But if you're doing it for 6 weeks or two and a half months, it's more like we're doing this.
Yeah.
So there's that.
It's
element.
a speed dating version of Downton,
which is always more fun, isn't it?
It's compressed
no one wants
into
to go
10
out with
weeks.
someone for too long,
No,
do they?
okay, no. Don't look at me when you say that, madam.
And this film is sort of a culmination of a lot of years of storytelling, particularly when we get to the end, and the Dowager Countess passes away. And particularly you, Jim, you have this wonderful scene where you found out she passed away, and Carson quotes King Lear sitting at the servants' table. When you've played a character for that long who's been in service to the Dowager her entire life, what was it like to sort of play that kind of, I guess, grief?
Well, it was sort of very easy to do, really, because, Carson has had a long relationship with the Dowager Countess, and Jim Carter's had a long relationship with Maggie Smith, and, the thought of her passing, is desperately sad. I mean, because she, in a way, is, she's the embodiment of the old spirit of Downton, and Carson is also an embodiment of that spirit, and so we're two pillars of rectitude and tradition, really, and then one of the pillars has crumbled. So it's very easy to play, especially when Julian Fellowes gives you a bit of Shakespeare, which because he could write as well.
Yeah, and you've done King Lear in the past as well, haven't you?
I have, yeah. I've never said those lines, but I've did that on film with Anthony Hopkins. But yeah.
And you, Raquel, one of my favorite bits of the film is sort of the end. We get to the end, and Mr. Mosley proposes to Miss Baxter. What do you think their wedding would look like? Do you know?
Ooh, well, I think I would get some lovely hand-me-downs from Lady Cora. She would see me right, certainly. Everyone would be there. It would be... I mean, we've had one of those. We've had servants' weddings before, so there'd be lots of dancing.
We did the village hall, didn't
we?
What's my wife's called?
What's your wife called?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
What's her
Mrs.
name?
Carson?
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah. What's her Logan? Phyllis? No. What's she playing? What is it? Oh, God!
I'm blanking on it as well.
Oh no, zero, completely blank.
Mrs.
Hughes.
Mrs. Hughes.
Mrs. Hughes. That's right.
First name and everything.
Yeah,
isn't she?
yeah.
Elsie.
Elsie.
Hughes.
Yeah, we've done the village hall, so you'll have to come up with something different.
Oh, I think we'd probably model it on.
Maybe you'll have a marquee on the grounds.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, and I'll be very disapproving.
As long as you're there disapproving, it will all be right. It'd be sweet. It would be family.
Mm-hmm.
And you've worked with your wife, Emma Stone, in the past, but you did get a very, very sort of brief scene in this film. And obviously you said, it's sort of the speed dating version of working on something versus television. But what was that like,
getting
to work with her on a project that you've been attached to for so long?
Well, once I got over the shock of her being in it, it was 2 or 3 years ago, she said, "Oh, I've got a script." And I said, "Oh, what is it?" She said, "Downton Abbey." I said, "You can't be in that. I'm in that." And I was furious that she was playing an upstairs character, rather than a downstairs character. Once I got over that, it took about 18 months. It was very nice, to do that little scene in the hat shop, which was filmed in Ealing Studios. It wasn't in the south of France at all, of course, But, it was good. And the cheeky line about, us being married at the end of it. So, it was good fun. It's always...
And it's nice to have a holiday in the south of France together.
So that wasn't too shabby either.
Yeah.
Well, thank you both so much. It was wonderful meeting you.
Okay, lovely.
Nice to meet you
Thank
too.
you.